Hey guys, it's Chelsea. Welcome back to my channel. And if you couldn't tell by the title of this video, yes, it's true, I am pregnant. And I thought I would come on here and kind of talk to you guys about what I've been experiencing, and hopefully I'll get to do these kind of pregnancy updates throughout the pregnancy. So if that's something you're interested in, then stay tuned for more. So I am 15 weeks today. 15 weeks. It's crazy to think. Next week I'll be 4 months pregnant. That's crazy. For 15 weeks, that means the baby is the size of an orange, which is about 4 inches long. Everything is pretty much fully formed with the baby. Now it's time to just grow. Hopefully not this big, because that would be huge, but grow into a normal sized baby. We have been to the doctor many times at this point and everything looks good. Everything seems healthy, so we're very excited about that. How we found out. We were trying to get pregnant, so it wasn't some like big shock or surprise, but it wasn't exactly what I imagined it would be when I found out that I was pregnant. It wasn't a big celebration, I guess, and let me tell you why. For those of you who don't know, back in June I had an ectopic pregnancy, which means the baby, because what happens is the baby is supposed to make its way through the fallopian tube into your uterus, and it's supposed to stick to the wall of the uterus. Well, this baby stuck to the wall of the fallopian tube and didn't make its way to the uterus. And so what happens is the baby's growing, but the fallopian tube isn't meant to grow like a uterus is. So my tube exploded and obviously lost the baby and lost the fallopian tube. So that was that. And then when we got the clearance from our doctor to try again, we started trying. It took a few months, obviously. How I knew I was pregnant was because I only have my right fallopian tube now. So I was going through the day and I was having some pains in my right fallopian tube. And in my mind I was thinking, this isn't good, this could be another ectopic pregnancy, but I didn't really think I was pregnant. I didn't really feel pregnant. I don't know if you really feel pregnant at that point, but I didn't really think I was. So that night I told my husband Lucas, I said, well, this has been happening, but I really don't think I'm pregnant. Should I just waste a pregnancy test? And he was like, yeah, you should, because obviously we need to take care of it right away if it is an ectopic, because we don't want to lose my only fallopian tube I have left. So that next morning I took a test. It turned out that I was pregnant, and in my mind, because I was having that pain, in my mind I was having another ectopic pregnancy. So I was devastated. So I saw I was pregnant. Automatically I just started crying because I was so upset. My husband was still in bed asleep. So I woke him up, showed him the test. I said, I'm pregnant, and obviously I'm upset, and he knew why, so he just comforted me and all that. That whole day was kind of a hard day, I guess, just because I thought I was having another ectopic, and to me, if I had another one, it meant I could, number one, lose the only other fallopian tube I had and my only chance to ever get pregnant, and number two, could mean maybe if I was having another one, it felt like there was something obviously wrong with my body and not able to function the way it should when conceiving a child. So I called the doctor. They couldn't get us in for another week, but you know, we said that we would go to the emergency room if the pain kept happening. But the pain did stop. So we went to the doctor that following week. He did an ultrasound and saw that the baby was where it was supposed to be and everything was fine. So at that point, I was good. I was like, okay, this is for real. This is really happening. And then at that point, we could kind of, I guess, celebrate that we were pregnant. So now moving on to the first trimester. And I will try to be as honest as I can with all those people out there who have never been pregnant before. The first trimester, come here, puppy. My dog wants to sit in my lap. He's not gonna be an only child anymore. He's so fluffy right now too, he needs a haircut. Anyways, if you have never been pregnant before, let me just tell you. The first trimester is probably the worst time of your life. It's horrible, at least for me. Some people have an awesome pregnancy with no problems and no sickness and all that, and I kind of want to slap those people because it's not fair. But I've heard that if you're sick during your first trimester, it's actually a good sign that your baby is healthy. So it's kind of one of those things, yeah, I hated being sick, but at the same time, I'm thinking in my mind, okay, this is good. This is supposed to be happening. This means the baby is healthy and my body is doing what it's supposed to and my hormones are doing what it's supposed to. But it was still no fun. I started getting sick at week 5 and it went pretty much all the way up to now. I'm just now starting to feel better. So I pretty much spent the majority of the last 10 weeks in bed. I've watched everything on TV, I've watched everything on Netflix, I've watched everything on Amazon Prime. I've watched it all, and I've watched all the videos on YouTube, so if you put a video out, I probably watched it because that was the only thing there was for me to do, was to sit in bed and just be miserable. So what happened with my first trimester, I was obviously very, very nauseous. I only actually threw up one time, which I think I'm thankful for. I can't tell if I am thankful because, you know, when you have a stomach bug or the flu and you're really nauseous, and then, I mean, it's horrible to throw up. I mean, I hope I'm not grossing you guys out. It's horrible to throw up, but you kind of have that sense of relief afterwards. You don't have that nauseous feeling, at least for a while after you throw up. I didn't really get that relief. It was just non-stop nauseous the whole time. So I hate throwing up, so I was glad I only did that once, but at the same time I wonder if it would have given me some kind of relief at some point if I did actually throw up. But so yeah, I was very, very nauseous. I was not able to eat what I should have been eating because it just wouldn't. I mean, you know how it is when you're nauseous. And I read and I've heard that when you are nauseous like that, you need to be eating or having something in your stomach, and that kind of helps relieve it. But it's so hard when you're like that to get that food in, to want to eat. And on top of that, my sense of smell was heightened to the point, and not in a good way, not like, oh, let me smell this flower, it smells so wonderful, like 10 times better than normal. It wasn't like that. It was like everything smelled horrible, and anything that would smell horrible smelled like 100 times worse. So going into my kitchen where all the food was, I didn't even have to like open the fridge to smell it. And there was nothing rotten in our fridge or anything like that, but all the smells together of all the food in the fridge just made this horrible smell. So that made me want to stay away from the kitchen, and let alone eat anything that smelled like that. And then our main trash can that's in the kitchen, oh man, that was a battle. I would have like one thing in the trash and I was like, Lucas, my husband, was like, you've got to take out the trash, it smells so bad. So we'd take out the trash, put another trash bag inside, and it would still smell bad. And so I'm like, it has to be this trash can that smells horrible. Something in this area smells so bad. And so I was like, we're gonna have to take this trash can to like a car wash or something and we'll completely wash it out because it smells so horrible. We never ended up doing that, but I just like the whole kitchen area for some reason was just horrible for me. And then this guy, he likes to fart. And it was not pleasant at that point. Oh my goodness, that was another horrible thing. Another symptom was just being tired. I was never really tired in the sense that I felt like I needed to go to sleep or take a nap. I did take naps, but it wasn't like, oh, I need to go to sleep. Because I was getting plenty of sleep. I'm not working right now, so I was able to sleep as much as I needed, which was very nice. But it was a tired, like my body was just really tired. Like I couldn't get out of bed because my muscles, and I was just tired. Like my body was just exhausted. A couple of weird symptoms that I had was I noticed that my eyes were burning a lot and they were watering a lot. And I wear contacts, but for the majority of the time during my first trimester, I just wore my glasses. So it wasn't anything like my contacts were funky or anything like that. But my eyes just would burn all of a sudden and just like water really bad. And I was like, this is really weird. So I looked it up, and that can be a symptom of pregnancy. So that was something that I had. And another thing is that I've noticed it's really hard to breathe through my nose. I've heard when you're pregnant it's hard to breathe, but I think that's like later on in the pregnancy when all of your organs kind of get pushed up and your lungs kind of get restricted. But this is like my nasal passages have just been like swollen or blocked, or I don't know what it is. So I thought that was really weird. Like for a while I thought I was coming down with the cold, but I didn't, and then it never really went away. So I looked that up, and that is another symptom that you can have with pregnancy. So those are the major symptoms that I have had pretty much through the first trimester. I'm getting better with everything else. Right now, the only thing is I still have the nose problem. I still am having trouble breathing. As far as cravings go, I feel like I have not really had any cravings. And a big part of that has probably been that the majority of my time so far has been nauseous and sick, so I haven't really wanted much. But now that I am starting to eat more, I don't feel like I am really having any cravings. I eat a lot of salty things, like I always want chips and stuff like that, but that's something that I've always wanted and always ate, so I don't feel like that's a craving. These have been a lifesaver during my pregnancy so far. Veggie straws. I don't know what it is about them, but I've been eating these like crazy. As far as aversions go, pretty much in the first trimester is pretty much everything, but right now it is sugar, anything with sugar, and that's really hard for me because I used to eat a lot of sugar, I like candy, I like cookies, I like anything sweet. I like sugar and I need it. Like every time I eat a meal, I'm like, okay, what am I going to have for dessert? Like that's what I think about, is the dessert. That's what I want, is the sugar. And it's not that I don't want it, because it's weird, because I feel like my brain is programmed and it's addicted, I guess, to the sugar. So I feel like my brain wants the sugar, but my body doesn't. Anytime I try to eat sugar, any kind of candy or cookies, my stomach just feels horrible, like really bad. So I'm trying the best I can to stay away from anything sugary. I also had a really hard time because I am having, and I feel like I'm getting over this, but during the first trimester I had a big aversion to coffee, and I'm a huge coffee drinker. Love Starbucks, love coffee. I have to have my coffee in the morning. So once I hit week 4, that's about the time I found out I was pregnant. So obviously I cut out the caffeine because there's some controversy whether any caffeine is okay or if 1 cup is okay. My doctor told me I can have 1 cup, but I've been trying to stay away from it. But so week 4 I tried to cut out the caffeine. I got the headaches because I am addicted to the caffeine, so I had to deal with that. Week 5 is when I started to get sick, so at that point I wanted nothing to do with the coffee, which was helpful getting it out and not of my system and not wanting it. So since then I haven't had any, and I feel like at this point I'm not gonna be drinking like a morning cup of coffee, but if I wanted to maybe go to Starbucks, I would get a decaf. I think I would still stick with the decaf and not the caffeine, even though my doctor says 1 cup a day is okay. I think I'm just gonna try to stay away if I can, but I think I'm to the point where I'm kind of wanting that again, especially now because it's Christmas time and I really like the Christmas flavored lattes at Starbucks. So I might try that soon. We'll see how it goes. As far as weight gain goes, the last time I weighed myself, because I'm not really into weighing myself every day, I've never really been into that. The last time I went to the doctor was about 3 weeks ago. So that was the last time I weighed myself, and at that point I had actually lost 5 pounds from my pre-pregnancy weight. Apparently that's pretty normal though. It's not completely uncommon to lose weight in your first trimester. My doctor was never really worried about that. He just said try my best. You know, 1 bite of something is better than no bites of anything. And a lot of that weight loss obviously came from being nauseous and sick, and I also think a lot of it came from not eating as much sugar and the caffeine and all of that stuff that can kind of make you gain weight a little bit. Cutting all of that out, I think, is the reason for the weight loss. So, but I'm starting to eat better now. I can eat full meals again, and I'm eating quite frequently actually, because I've noticed that usually I get hungry about every 2 hours, and if I don't eat I get nauseous. So every couple hours I'm having to kind of snack or eat a meal or something, and so I feel like I'm eating a lot now. And I have another doctor's appointment next week, so I'm pretty sure I will have gained some sort of weight at that point. To go along with that, maternity clothes. I am not in maternity clothes yet. I did purchase the B band from Target. It's one of those bands that go over your jeans. You can keep them unbuttoned and unzipped and just put this band over it, so you don't have to buy maternity pants. I did buy this at Target a few weeks ago because it was 50% off. So I figured I'd better get one while it's on sale because I'll need it at some point. So I bought that, but I'm not wearing it yet, and I'm not really wearing any sort of maternity clothes. I do have a lot of clothes that are baggy, because that's just the style that I like right now, is like baggy shirts and so forth. So I don't feel like I'm really going to need to buy maternity clothes for a while. The gender. At this point, I do not know the gender. We are planning on finding out whenever we can, and I'm not sure yet what our plan is. I'm sure we'll do some sort of video or something along those lines to reveal the gender, but I'm not sure what we'll do quite yet. But I'm very excited. I want a girl. My husband wants a boy. Pretty normal. But if I had to guess at this point, I would say that it's a boy, just because I feel like whenever I think about the baby or whenever I'm praying for the baby, it's always a boy. I'm always saying he, or just in my mind, I'm always imagining a boy. So I'm trying to prepare myself that it is probably going to be a boy. Obviously, I don't really know, and I know moms say that they know before they know, but we don't really know. So I would say it's a boy, even though I want a girl. So we'll see. I think we should find out in the next month or so, so I'm very excited about that. And at that point, I'll probably start making some purchases. I haven't bought anything, no clothes, nothing. So at that point, maybe we'll go out and buy either a dress if it's a girl, or something blue if it's a boy. I don't know what you buy boys. I am due May 28th of 2016. I'm very excited, yet nervous and scared, obviously, because I've never gone through this whole thing before. So any kind of new experience can be scary. So it's a scary thing, but I'm excited and my husband is excited and we can't wait to be parents. Ultrasound pics. We have been blessed in the sense that every time I've gone to the doctor, and it's been quite a few times now since we went pretty early on in the pregnancy, we have had an ultrasound every single time that I've gone in. So I think we've had about 4 ultrasounds now where we've gotten to see the baby. I've heard, I think different places are different, I don't know exactly, but I've heard from some people that that's pretty rare. Some doctors only will do an ultrasound twice in a pregnancy if the baby is healthy and all that. So I definitely feel blessed that we have gotten to see the baby so many times, because that's the best part about going to the doctor. Going to the doctor can be scary, but at least you know you get to see your baby. And the last time we went, it was so great because the baby was, you know, because before and early on it doesn't exactly look like a baby yet, but in this last one it looked like a baby and it was like squirming and moving. Obviously at this point I can't feel that yet, but in the ultrasound you could see it was just like moving all over the place and like being crazy. And so that, I think that was so cool that we got to see that. These pictures are at week 12. And this is when the baby was super squirmy, but we did get some good pictures out of it. So yeah, that's pretty much all of the updates so far that I have for you. I will try to do these pregnancy updates, I'm not sure, maybe every other week, maybe every month if nothing's really happening, but I'll try to definitely keep you guys informed. And I think this is a great way for me to remember this journey that I'm on right now. I hope you want to come along with me on this journey, because I definitely want to take you guys with me through it all. I guess the final thing to do is the belly bump. I debated if I even wanted to do it. There's not much. There's a little bump at this point, but not much. But I know people are interested. Actually, a lot of my friends and family, they live in the Midwest. We live in Los Angeles right now. And so a lot of them keep bugging me and asking me to send pictures of my belly bump. And I haven't really wanted to do it, and plus there wasn't really much of a bump to show them, but there is starting to get a little bit of a bump now. So I will show you guys what I have so far. You should feel lucky. It's just because I love you guys. All right, let me get my dog off of my lap. Sorry, buddy. Say hi. All right, get out of here. Okay, with clothes, you can't really, this is what I'm talking about, like I like baggy clothes right now, so yeah, this could probably stretch throughout my whole pregnancy. But anyways, not much of a bump you can see with clothes on, so no one really knows I'm pregnant at this point. That's my bump, and that's my pregnancy update. Thank you guys so much for watching. By the way, I will link my video on my other channel. It is our pregnancy announcement video that my husband and I made. It's really super cute, so go check it out. I will link it down below. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.